Hello, welcome back. This time in our How to Beat Boss Guide series, we're going to be taking on First Sinner. And let me just say, this is so far my favorite boss fight. I love this fight so much. But you get to this fight in the slab after finding the key of the apostate and the putrefied ducks. First Sinner is somewhat basic. There's only going to be a couple of attacks here initially that Sinner actually does. First is a claw swipe along the bottom, right there, and then the second one is a diagonal attack, right there. Other than that, First Sinner will just briefly spin some thread and summon needles that fly down on you. The needles are telegraphed by lines of silk, so pretty easy to avoid these since you can see where they will be going and where they will be coming from. The key here is just to play for space. Biggest thing is First Sinner is fast and will back up and teleport away to try and avoid you. So use your dash, use your mobility and your different movement abilities and just get those hits in whenever you can and keep the pressure on. There's a lot of boss fights in this game that will punish you for being aggressive and playing fast, that really want you to take your time and try and just avoid damage primarily. This is not one of those. This is one of those boss fights where if you do not play fast and aggressive, you're just not going to hit them. So I highly recommend Wanderer Crest in this just for the attack speed. You don't have to. I think Reaper Crest is a good second option. Sorry to Beast Crest enjoyers out there. And apologize for the quick pause there. Had to dry my hands. But that's really the name of the game here for this entire phase, is just play fast, get those hits in as soon as you're able to, and avoid the needles as telegraphed by the lines of silk. You want to stay in as much of the dark space as you possibly can. You'll get a quick fake out here before going into phase 2. And in phase 2, First Sinner learns a new attack. They will charge that AoE where it's almost like a Pure Vessel-esque, for those of you who played Hollow Knight, kind of orb AoE in the air. Those orbs show up before they explode. So again, just play in the dark space and you'll be fine. The only other change with this one is First Sinner will be much faster and it will start one attack before the previous one actually finishes. First Sinner will also occasionally go into what looks like a healing animation, or at least it mimics Hornet's healing animation. They are defenseless in that animation. You can just run over and attack them as long as you're avoiding the needles along the way. Other than that, there's nothing too complicated about this fight. It's really just the speed. I highly recommend, if you have not found it yet, picking up the injector ban or having that equipped. If you want to have any hope at all of healing in that second half of the fight, it just speeds up how quickly you heal. But other than that, not too complicated. Stay in the dark areas, avoid the needles, and use your dash and your movement abilities just to get those quick hits in whenever you're able to. But just like I did, you'll be able to take down First Sinner pretty quickly. And after a short platforming section, you will unlock Rune Rage. This is a new silk skill that you can use with any crest. I personally question how useful this is, but it is super cool. So I'm going to demonstrate it here for you in just 1 second as we come out of this animation. And all it is after a quick wind up, you also get to do the AoE orbs in the air. These are random, so I don't know for practical use how useful these will be since you can't really target them. But that's how you get Rune Rage, and that's how you beat First Sinner. As always, if you found this guide helpful, leave a like. Feel free to leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more content. And as always, let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see next, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.